Well, hello everyone and welcome back. So what's on tap for today? Well, we've got another great reaction video to our lovable ladies of the left, those lunatics, those loons, those lovable loons on The View, which I affectionately call the rear view. Why? Because of all the verbal diarrhea that comes from these cackling hens on the rear view. Today, they're going to be talking about that the GOP Republican field for the presidency is widening. We're going to get to all that in the next few seconds, folks. But before we do so, if you haven't done so already, it's the first time you're tuning in, you're watching the Dr. Nasir Shaikh Show. I'm your guest host for today. My name is Dr. Nasir. Like, share, and follow us. Comment below. Tell me what you think of these lovable lunatic ladies, the cackling hens in the rear view. Let's get to that video right now.
What's going on in the country right now? You know, we've been talking about lots of different things, but the GOP presidential field apparently is starting to come together. There is speculation that Nikki Haley, Chris Sununu, and Mike Pence, and Tim Scott are all mulling runs, and here's what former Maryland Governor Larry Hogan said last night.
There's talk that you will be among those candidates. Is that true?
Well, I'm certainly giving it very serious consideration. You know, we've been really successful 30 miles outside of Washington, where everything appears to be broken and nothing but divisiveness and dysfunction. I'm in one of the bluest states in the country with a 70% progressive legislature, and I got them to cut taxes 8 years in a row by $4.8 billion, and I had the biggest economic turnaround in America. So we're taking a close look at it.
Okay. Right, Larry Hogan on Neil Cavuto. Okay, Neil Cavuto, one of those never Trumper elitists, all right, on Fox TV. Every once in a while, Neil says something, okay, that's, I guess conservative. But for the most time, oh, come on now. And then Larry Hogan, Republican, oh my goodness. You know what? These guys are just absolutely incredible. Anyways, let's see what Whoopi has to say.
Whatever. But apparently more and more Americans are not sold on either party. So they're identifying as independent voters. Now, could this impact 2024? I imagine it could, because if people are mad at the Democrats and they're mad at the Republicans, the only place to go is independent.
Then they'll vote for Kristen Sinema.
I think,
Look, this is my opinion, like you said before.
Yeah.
This is my opinion. We have, on the one side, pro-Democratic Party, pro-democracy party, the Democrats, at the moment. They're not perfect, they're flawed. On the other side, you have an anti-democratic, anti-democracy party. That's what...
Actually, I thought it was the other way around. I thought the Democratic Party was the anti-democratic party and the Republican Party was a Democratic Party. I think, Joyless Behar, I think you have it completely wrong, honey. I gotta mansplain it to you, honey. Gotta mansplain it to you. You got the things wrong.
What you've got to work with right now. This wasn't always true. When I was a kid, Eisenhower was president. It was different. It's different. It's all
very different.
Switch right now.
Yeah.
Here's another quote. I'm full of them today. This is from the great Elie Wiesel.
Joy, you're full of a lot of things today. Quotes isn't one of them. Just remember that, all right?
He said we must take sides. Neutrality helps the oppressor, never the victim. So
That's right.
Now let's talk about these independent voters. I don't know what they're thinking. I really don't. Do you want a country or don't you? And also, but I have sympathy for them because they're seeing what's in front of them. Their taxes may be higher. They don't like what's being taught in the schools maybe, and they don't have control over that. But there is a larger picture that they're not looking at, and that's their choice. But that, I think, is what's going on.
But neutrality is not inactivity. It is not complacence. It's if one party, there's a two-party system in a country with billions of people. Like, how did we think two parties were going to represent all of us? It's just stupid. It's math. So
why don't you go back, Sarah, and listen to what the founding fathers did to Tocqueville? All right, all those people. Go back and look at history. Read the Federalist Papers. Read the papers of Benjamin Franklin, Thomas Jefferson, Abe Lincoln, all these people. What were we thinking? We didn't want to have the type of government that was already in Europe. That's not what we wanted. We wanted something completely different. We didn't want monarchical rule. Oh my God, these cackling hens. Can you just believe? I mean, let's just go over that and just one more time, see what she has to say about this thing here, folks. Just go over this again. This two-party system. All right, I think we've got to go.
Reality is not inactivity. It is not complacence. It's if one party, there's a two-party system in a country with billions of people. Like, how did we think two parties were going to represent all of us? It's just stupid. It's math. So I would say that there are a lot of people. Independent does not mean you're sitting there not taking a side, and it means day to day and candidate to candidate you feel differently. I typically have voted left. I would vote for Charlie Baker. I talk about him a lot here. He was a Republican from Massachusetts. That's
former
no longer
governor.
Former
the
governor.
Most popular governor.
Most popular, and he was in a Democratic state. He lost the first time, and then he went back and talked to the people and was an amazing candidate. We lack those these days. So
Charlie Baker, wasn't he the master baker? Charlie Baker? I'm not sure. He may have been the master baker.
Oh, I can go. And in independence, by the way, I know Sonny often feels they're more Republican or conservative.
Well, it's just not me.
But wait, let me just finish the stat I was about to do. So independents voted 54% for Biden, 41% for Trump in 2020, but in 2016, 42% for Clinton, 43% for Trump. It shows that Hillary Clinton?
The independent.
The independents saying that they vote in one election, they're showing you they can vote one way and then they can vote another way. They actually change based on the candidate. So that is not.
Wow, that's so reflective, right? I mean, I had no idea. Did you know that? Did you know that independents sort of sometimes they vote one way and sometimes they vote another? Boy, if it wasn't for this cackling hen, Sarah Hines, bringing that fact to the forefront, we would have never have known that little voting tidbit that independents sometimes vote Republican, sometimes they vote Democrat, sometimes they don't vote at all. Wow. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you so much.
A neutrality of saying both sides are fine. It's saying
But
this
moment,
they want
research doesn't really support that, right? Because across nearly 3 decades of polling, Pew Research has found that most self-proclaimed independents really do lean Democrat or Republican in roughly equal shares. And I think that's the bottom line. It feels very non-committal to me. When you're an independent, you can't vote in the primary. You can't under our system. I'm not saying that that's right. I'm not saying that that's right. But that's how the system is right now. And I recall my father being an independent most of my life. And I finally asked him a couple years ago, so you can't vote in the primary. Have you ever voted for a Republican? He said, oh, no, I haven't.
Then why not?
Then your dad, who happens to be black, Ascension Cummings, who you are the fake black person, you're 50% Puerto Rican, 50% black. You completely misappropriate, and then you appropriate culture and ethnicity, anything that you can appropriate for basically putting you at the forefront. You continually do, Sonny Hodson, also known, your real name is Ascension Cummings. Just wanted to keep pointing that thing out to everybody of what a freaking hypocrite this bigoted, racist, black Puerto Rican female woman actually is. And then to say that her dad was an independent, but he never voted for Republican. Well then, honey, I think your dad, you're right, okay? He wasn't an independent. He was a Democrat. Tell him that.
So why not be a Democrat then?
I voted for Republican.
Joy is right if we're talking about Trump as the Republican nominee.
Yeah.
This gives me hope. Some of these names are people I would be thrilled to back. Larry Hogan, 70% approval rating in a blue state of Maryland. He left actually 81% approval among Democrats. Chris Sununu, governor of a purple state in New Hampshire. He's a pro-democracy. He actually subtweeted Ron DeSantis yesterday. He put something out celebrating Black History Month and saying we need to, cherish the culture, learn about it, teach it in our schools. These are serious people who want to govern, who want to work across the aisle.
Can they in that party, though?
I think that the people are, the midterms gave me some hope. People are tired of it. They don't like
independents
the
are the major swath of the voting. They decide the elections. If you can bring moderate candidates that can claim that middle independent, you can win elections.
You know what?
Like a moderate candidate like Trump, right? What he did in 2016 when he absolutely obliterated the field of Republicans. Is that what you're talking about, Sarah? I mean, these guys are just absolutely, you keep wanting to bring back a moderate. And the reason they talk about this, folks, the reason that they talk about this, I'll tell you why, is because they are so scared of President Trump. They're so scared of the MAGA movement, so scared of the America First agenda, so scared of Make America Great Again. And so they keep bringing in people like Chris Sununu. Chris Sununu? We're talking, Hogan are you kidding me? Rick Scott? I mean, these are, look, Scott, the senator from, South Carolina, the junior senator, maybe he'll have his chance down the road. But if you're talking right now, there is no way that you're going to get elitist establishment senators or congressmen or governors that are going to be able to challenge President Trump. All right. This is all just, hysterical feeding frenzy fodder for the cackling hens at the rear view.
Or you can at least have, I'm sorry, baby. You can at least have a conversation about what's wrong. That's for me. I just need somebody we can talk to. I'm tired of people going, no.
But that's what partisans do.
Oh, what? No. Hard to talk to. Well, it's usually the Democrats, it's the progressives, it's the wokesters, it's the social justice warriors, it's the hypocrites in Hollywood, it's the mainstream media. These are the people, okay, that you can't talk to because they don't want to listen to diversity of opinion. They don't want diversity of thought. They want diversity, but not of opinion, not of thought. They want you to follow exactly what they say. And if you don't listen to them, then this is what they basically do, what Whoopi is doing. No, not going to listen. That's exactly what these folks do for people.
Partisan people who are so party driven, they don't look at the situation or the nuance or the candidate, they vote party. So I have a problem with people.
Oh, you mean like the 90 to 95% of black people that do that and vote Democratic, Sarah? Is that who you're talking about? I think you should basically point that thing out, honey.
That feel any party identifies everything they are.
Here is my hope, that Trump will run on a third party, completely split the Republican Party, and the Democrats will sweep it.
Yeah. And he may do that.
That is my hope.
And he may do that.
Well, it's
no nuance there, baby.
All elect.
All right. That's about as much as I can take of these cackling hens and the verbal diarrhea that emanates from their opinions. And listen, everybody is entitled to their opinion. They're just wrong. Anyways, with that being said, we appreciate you taking the time to watch this, our show. You've been watching the Dr. Nasir Shaikh Show. I've been your guest host. My name is Dr. Nasir. Like, share, and follow us. Hit that notification bell. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. And I'll leave you with my final thought, which is, when you're right, and when you're left, you're wrong. Just like these lovable lunatic ladies. We'll see you next time, folks. Take care and stay safe.